Good morning, everyone. I am the Poverty Princess. It's 9:04. I'm getting ready to take a slow walk up to Lehigh Valley Hospital. Not for anything serious, guys. I have to go for my yearly blood work before my cardiologist appointment, first week of February. It's a yearly thing. Because my cholesterol tends to be borderline, which irritates me. Because especially in the summer, I eat a lot of salads, I eat a lot of fruit, I eat a lot of fish, and I don't know, even being on a statin, it's not like high, but it's borderline. Could be better, just kind of hard to get it where it really, really optimally should be, But I don't have high blood pressure, which is a blessing. My mom had that. Anyway, so Mr. Oreo is on his perch. He wanted to say good morning. And here is Miss Feisty. I just fed them about an hour ago. So I'm going to bring you guys along for a walk because I just wanted to show you sadly some things that are really falling apart here in town. And I'm sure many of you can identify with your own hometown when you see what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's a shame. Hazleton had a wonderful reputation many years ago as the all-American city, and it also had a not-so-good reputation of being called Mob City. But more on that later in the video. So guys, I am showing you, this is a side view of the Dublin building. Back in the day, it was the Dublin Silk Mill. Had a very, very rich history. Many of my grandmother's family members worked in here. My mom worked in here. Hell, in my late teens and in my 20s, I worked here. Employed a lot of women, and sewing factories, there was several of them here in town. You can get a feel for how big this building really, really is. This is the back way where some of the loading docks are. And if you can see, like on the horizon there and that with the tower, that's the other side of the building. I will show you on my way back home. That's more the back view of the Dublin building. And we're coming up here on the not newly remodeled, but remodeled Harmon Stadium. Now, I graduated in 1982, and we always had outdoor graduations. Sorry about that. Cut the clip off. I remember being with one of my good friends. Since both our names began with S, my other friends were in different rows because, their last names were with different letters. But I remember relief, and yet a certain, I don't know, I guess I want to say sadness when I graduated, because I knew that chapter of my life was going to be over. So I guess in a way, while it's exciting, it's a little overwhelming. It's a little scary. So, but as you can see, they made it now where there's only football games and practices here, no graduations, no events. There used to be 4th of July events, but not anymore. It's a very busy road here, Cedar Street. Alrighty guys, well, I just left the hospital. I didn't want a chance getting any kind of issue filming. There was an employee outside. They do valet parking, so I didn't really want to, get in any kind of problem for, filming. And I'm just giving you a little bit of an idea how far I am here at the hospital from my area where I live. Okay, earlier in the video I showed you the Dublin building, and if you look up on the horizon right there, that's a view of the Dublin building. And that church tower right there, that's Most Precious Blood, and that's actually a few blocks away from me. So I am a good walking distance from my home. By the time I get home, I guarantee you I will have walked over 6,000-7,000 steps, and that's going to translate into about 4 miles. This, my friends, is what is left of a once bustling downtown Hazleton. And it's really, really sad. This building right here used to be a family department store. It was Dice Roads. And then down here where the empty lot is used to be the Leader department store. Beautiful stores. We used to have a Kresge's here. We had a Grant's. There was a photography studio right there where that furniture store is. I got my senior pictures taken there, Cal Payne. There was Elton's and Fashion Bug before they moved out to the Laurel Mall. And then down here in this block, we used to have, where that lot is there, we used to have a Rite Aid, and there was another little store, which was really cool. It was Greco's. And down below, there was a coal vein you could actually see. They sold candles downstairs. It was real nice. It was a private pharmacy, but, like a family pharmacy, but it was really nice. As I said, this lot right here, there was a Grant's here, there was a department store. Rite Aid was over there where the lot is. There also was Copper Kettle, really good restaurant. We had a bunch of good restaurants downtown back in the day. You're able to, literally, like many small towns, go downtown, pay your bills, go shopping, grab something to eat, and have a nice, enjoyable day. We had several movie theaters. There was one farther up on Broad Street. There was one down here on Wyoming Street. The Marco building here. That is beautiful when it's lit up at night. You'll see when I do a summer video. It looks absolutely beautiful. But yeah, this sure as hell is not bustling. Right now, guys, I am in front of the big windows of our local newspaper, the Standard Speaker. And when I was a teenager, it was cool to be able to, like, watch the newspaper, the big spools of paper and everything. Watch a newspaper be printed. Yeah, it was pretty cool. This parking lot over here. Goodness, what could I say? There was a movie theater and a pool hall that was here, was torn down to make room for this. And this building right here on North Wyoming Street used to be the North Wyoming Brewing Company, and then it was Cousins. The upper floor was where there was concerts. I seen LA Guns here. I forget who the other band was that played with them. I seen Dr. Hook here. Joan Jett. Little River Band. And Ronnie's dad, when he was able to get off of work, came to 2 shows here with me. We seen Molly Hatchet, and we seen Blue Oyster Cult. So yeah, that good memories there with that building. different people tried to make a go of it. That was a Spanish restaurant, but I think that got raided a few times. That little store here used to be Perry's. That was open when I was a little girl. Over here actually used to be a deli at one point, Dave's Deli. And here, guys, is where the decay starts, on Wyoming Street. There was a beautiful hardware store here back in the day that used to have beautiful Christmas tree displays.
Good morning, honey.
Good morning. Now this little store is still open. This was open when I was in high school. And then up here, this little store is out. And you're going to see many of these buildings are condemned and shut down. And it's just crazy. Like, look at that. I didn't even realize that until back in the summer. Ronnie and I were walking. And I was just counting the number of empty buildings here on Wyoming Street. And I said to Ronnie, holy shit, 90% of them have condemn signs on. I said, what the hell? Like, look at that. I could say work permit, but I don't see no damn work going on in them. Just look at that, look at that. Like, that's crazy. And this right here, guys, at one time, beautiful glass doors, the main entrance of the Dublin building, which goes all the way up and around Diamond Avenue. Very big building. Well, guys, I've been home for a little bit, so I was actually close. I said I probably walked about 4 miles. Well, according to the app I have on my phone, it says I walked 4.71 miles, or 11,170 steps. And my active time was 1 hour 41 minutes. That was combined with leaving my house, walking up to the hospital, and then leaving the hospital, taking a walk downtown, doing a little filming. Yeah, that's pretty darn interesting if you think about it. 4.71 miles. So yeah, you get an idea. Oh, the app on my phone is called Step Younger. Yeah, the chance of, like, earning Amazon cards and everything, which is why I had the app on my phone. I'll let you guys know, you know, how it works out. I only installed that, like, about 3 weeks ago. So, I wanted to basically show you guys, just like many other towns across the country, disrepair, decay. Now in Hazleton, like I said, a lot of the stores downtown, they left, went out the mall when the Laurel Mall was built, when malls were becoming the thing, you know. Unfortunately, our mall is still open. There's so many malls in Pennsylvania that closed, all around the country that closed. I watch a series by Dan Bell, Dead Mall series. Really, really interesting. Sad, but it is interesting. If you really want to check out some of these malls, and some of them were not even like in existence that long. Some of them were built in the like late 70s, early 80s, and by early 2000s, they're gone, shut down. Here in Pennsylvania, not that far from us actually, Schofield County, there was a mall shut down there. I think Dan Bell did a video about it. I would actually have to check. But he has a good series like that. So it's all around the country. It's not just my state or in my town. So many of you, I'm sure, can, you know, take a walk down your downtown and very similar, you know. It's sad. What are you gonna do, right? Sometimes change is good, and sometimes it's not. I always say the problem with Pennsylvania is our minimum wage. Eventually people are going to move because of it. But then again, the flip side of that, of raising the minimum wage, is rents are going to go up because landlords are going to get their hands on more money. There's no cap on the utilities, so people really aren't going to gain anything unless there's rental caps, utility caps. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous every damn year, PP&L with their rate increase my ass. You know, like just give it a break for a year, you know, like really. So that's the downside to having a higher minimum wage. Everything is going to go up, cost of food's going to go up. Not the quality of the food, but cost of food. So, yeah. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said about the one time Hazleton had the reputation of being an all-American town, and that's true. We didn't carry keys, a lot of us, because we didn't lock our doors. And you could sleep at night and safely in your own bed and not worry about being robbed or, God forbid, somebody coming in and kidnapping someone or murdering someone. You didn't have to worry about that. But that illusion of safety often gets tragically shattered. And people are never really quite the same when something horrible happens in their town. Hazleton has a dark side to it too. I know some of you guys, you know, out of curiosity, because you probably were not familiar with, you know, my town at all, or maybe any states in PA. I mean, any towns in PA. PA is a state. No, buddy, I need you to get down here for a moment. No. Sorry, Bubby. I will carry you around if you want me to, but let me finish my video, guys. Hazleton has a dark side to it, too. Back in the 80s, you've seen a lot of people walking around Hazleton wearing, I live in Mop City, Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And the shirt had that in big letters, had a gun on it, a handgun. And there was a very good reason why a lot of people were wearing them shirts. Oreo, come on now, stop, please, go back there. And it's a little bit lengthy of an explanation, so I would definitely touch on that in another video if you guys would be curious to know Hazleton's dark side. I mean, a lot of patch towns outside of Hazleton and that, Eckley, Freeland, so many little patch towns and that. A rich coal mining history. Coal was king in Pennsylvania, but by the same token, coal also was a downside. I want to say a downside. Coal was the reason that an underground fire in Centralia, Pennsylvania could never be put out because of the anthracite coal, because it's lawn burning. And probably within the next maybe 2-3 years, you won't even hear of Centralia anymore. It'll be removed from maps, and it will only exist in people's memories. And those of us who were there several times walked the old highway, graffiti highway, and took pictures, which are on my Facebook. I was there several times. That town, such a shame. They were burning their garbage in the city dump, and the fire went down far enough that it hit a vein of coal and started an underground fire, which divided the town, made local news for, God, several years. Pennsylvania eventually took over eminent domain. They bought out many homeowners in Centralia who moved to neighboring towns, and the ones that remained refused to go. That was probably like 3-4 generations of families that had lived there, and you could kind of understand why they, didn't want to go. But yeah, that's an interesting story. And Centralia is a nice little ride, not all that far from Hazleton either, to be honest. But if you guys would be curious about the darker history of Hazleton, yeah, let me know in the comment section below. I would be happy to do a little digging, spend a day in my local library, trying to basically compile some interesting moments in Hazleton. Not very pleasant. There was a, God forbid, tragic firebombing, a vehicle back in the 50s, I believe, early 60s, late 50s. There's an unsolved murder of a little girl, which I didn't even know about until actually in my teenage years, which explained why my mother was like fanatical about not letting me go anywhere myself, to say it's never been solved. Disappearances. Hazleton has had its share of crime. There's been murders, not many, but several very tragic ones. But if you would be curious though, I would be more than happy to do a follow-up video to this. Just let me know, guys, in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. As always, thank you so much, guys, for watching and helping my channel grow. Take care. Have a wonderful day. I will see you real soon. Bye.